What if I told you the quantum field isn't responding to what you want, but to what you are? Every thought you think sends a signal, but only the ones infused with emotion return as reality. For decades, researchers like Dr. Joe Dispenza have shown how your brain and heart act as transmitters into the field, yet most people still misunderstand why their affirmations never manifest. By the end of this video, you'll discover why thoughts alone aren't enough, the two hidden traps that block your manifestations, and how to finally align your energy so the field reflects your highest self. And before we dive in, comment the last synchronicity or sign you experienced. You'll be surprised how many others are seeing the same. Have you ever wondered where your thoughts actually go once you think them? Most people imagine thoughts as private, tiny sparks inside the brain that disappear the moment they pass. But modern science and ancient wisdom both suggest something radically different. Your thoughts don't just stay in your head. They ripple into an invisible field of energy that surrounds and connects everything in existence. This is what researchers and mystics call the quantum field. It's not some mystical cloud floating above you. It's the invisible ocean of energy that both science and spirituality agree is the foundation of reality itself. In physics, it's the space where infinite possibilities exist as pure potential. In spirituality, it's the unified field of consciousness. And here's the shocker, this field is not separate from you. You are immersed in it. You are constantly sending information into it, whether you realize it or not. Think of your body as a transmitter and receiver. Every single thought you generate creates a measurable electrical signal in the brain. Every emotion you feel generates a magnetic signature in the heart. Together, your mind and your body form a broadcasting station that is constantly informing the field about who you are. In other words, your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic. Together they create an energetic fingerprint. Now here's where most people miss it. They believe the field responds to the words they say in their mind, affirmations like "I am abundant" or "I am healed." But the field isn't listening to sentences. It's responding to the frequency beneath those words. If you're repeating "I am abundant" while your body is drowning in worry about bills, the field doesn't respond to the sentence. It responds to the vibration of lack you're actually radiating. This is why Dr. Joe Dispenza often says that you can't create a new future while living in the emotions of the past. Because as long as your body is anchored in stress, fear, or limitation, your energy signature tells the field, "More of this, please." And the quantum field is neutral. Like a mirror, it reflects back exactly what you broadcast. To make this clear, imagine tuning a radio. If you want to listen to jazz on 101.7 FM, but your dial is stuck on 87.5, no amount of hoping will bring in the jazz station. The signal is already there surrounding you, but your receiver has to match the frequency. The quantum field works in the same way. Your desired reality, the health, the love, the abundance, already exists in potential within the field. But unless your personal energy matches that frequency, you'll never tune into it. And this is the illusion of separation. You believe you're here, and what you want is out there. But in truth, both exist in the same field. The only difference is whether your signal matches the channel you want to experience. So the big question is this: what frequency are you broadcasting right now? Is your mind sending out one signal, while your body is locked in another? Or are they aligned, coherent, unified, ready to collapse possibility into reality? Because once you understand that your thoughts and emotions are literally the language of creation, the idea that the field is random dissolves. You realize you've been in a constant dialogue with the universe all along. The only thing left is to learn how to speak its language fluently. And that is where our journey begins. If thoughts truly influence the quantum field, then why don't most of our dreams instantly appear? Why can someone spend years repeating affirmations, visualizations, or prayers, yet see no real change in their life? The answer lies in two hidden traps. Once you see them, everything about manifestation becomes clearer. The first trap is thinking without feeling. Imagine thought as the electrical signal that leaves your brain. It's like sending a message into space, but unless that thought is paired with an emotion, it has no magnetism to pull anything back. It's like broadcasting a radio wave into the void with no receiver tuned in. This is why so many people think positive, yet remain stuck. Saying "I am healthy" or "I am loved" without generating the corresponding feeling is like planting a seed in dry soil. The thought exists, but it cannot take root. Think about a time when you wanted something desperately, but deep down you felt doubt, fear, or unworthiness. On the surface, you were thinking of success, but underneath, your body was radiating the opposite. Which one do you think the field responded to? Always the vibration, not the words. And this brings us to the second trap, the body living in contradiction to the mind. Here's what happens. You decide with your conscious mind that you want to create a new reality. You might visualize abundance, freedom, or healing. But your body, conditioned by years of stress, habits, and emotions, is addicted to the old reality. The body keeps firing chemical signals of worry, anxiety, or anger. So while your mind projects one signal, your body is broadcasting another. And the field listens to the stronger signal, which for most people is the one coming from the body. This is why change feels so hard. The body is literally living in the past, while the mind is trying to imagine a new future. Let's make this practical. Picture someone waking up saying, "Today I'll be calm, peaceful, and abundant." Within 10 minutes, they check their phone, see a stressful email, and their stomach tightens. That chemical reaction of stress floods their body. By noon, their subconscious patterns have fully taken over. Even though their mind declared abundance, their body spent the whole day rehearsing lack and survival. Can you see the conflict? One frequency says future, the other says past. Which one collapses into reality? Always the one you embody most consistently. This is why Dr. Dispenza insists on practices that recondition the body to a new mind. Because until your body experiences the future as if it were happening now, you will unconsciously return to the old familiar emotions. So here's the great paradox. It's not enough to think your future into existence. You must also feel it into being, and not just once, but repeatedly, until your body accepts the new emotion as normal, automatic, familiar. When thought and feeling finally align, you stop sending mixed signals. Your energy signature becomes coherent, like a laser beam instead of scattered light. And coherence is exactly what the quantum field responds to. Ask yourself, how often have you sent two opposing signals into the field? How many times have you said, "I trust," while feeling fear? Or declared, "I love my life," and while your body was drowning in frustration? This is not failure, it's simply feedback. The field is showing you what frequency you've been broadcasting most consistently, and that feedback is not punishment. It's the most honest mirror you'll ever have. The real question is, are you willing to train your mind and body to finally speak the same language? Because once you do, the field cannot help but respond. If you've ever felt that inner conflict between what you think and what you feel, drop the word clarity in the comments. It's the first step toward coherence. If your thoughts are the electrical signal you send into the quantum field, then your emotions are the magnetic pull that brings the matching reality back to you. Together they form the full broadcast of your being. Without emotion, thought is like a message in a bottle tossed into the ocean. It may float, but it has no force to return to shore. Think about this. Every time you feel gratitude, joy, or love, your heart generates a powerful magnetic field. This isn't poetic language, it's measurable. The HeartMath Institute has shown that the heart's electromagnetic field is thousands of times stronger than the brain's. When you combine a clear thought with an elevated emotion, your signal becomes exponentially more coherent and powerful. This is why people who live in states of fear, resentment, or stress often attract more of the same. Their thoughts may sometimes point toward hope, but the magnetic charge of their emotions keeps them locked into familiar experiences. The field isn't judging them. It's simply reflecting back the energy they continuously broadcast. So here's the key shift. You don't manifest what you think about most. You manifest what you feel most consistently. Imagine walking into a room after a big argument. Even if no one speaks, you can feel the tension in the air. That's emotion radiating as energy. Now imagine walking into a space where people are celebrating, laughing, fully alive. Again, you feel it before a word is spoken. That's the magnetic field at work. The same principle applies to your relationship with the quantum field. If your thoughts are clear, I want abundance, I want love, I want health, but your emotions are broadcasting fear, doubt, or lack, the field will only mirror back the stronger, more consistent frequency. So how do you shift it? The secret is elevated emotion. Gratitude, love, inspiration, wonder. These aren't just feel-good states, they're energetic magnets. Gratitude, in particular, is powerful because it encodes the feeling of already having. When you feel grateful for a future that hasn't happened yet, you're teaching your body to experience the future as if it's real now. Dr. Joe often says, the quantum field only gives you experiences that match who you are being. And who you are being is a blend of what you think and what you feel in the present moment. Here's a metaphor. Imagine your thought as the seed of a tree and your emotion as the soil. You can hold the most perfect seed in the world, but if you drop it into barren, toxic soil, it won't grow. On the other hand, even a modest seed planted in rich, fertile soil can flourish. Your emotions are the fertile ground that allow the seed of thought to take root in the field. Now let's make this real. Try this right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and bring to mind one clear intention. It could be health, love, or an opportunity. See it, imagine it. Then breathe into your heart and summon gratitude. Not for what you wish to have someday, but for the fact that it is already unfolding. Can you feel that shift in your chest, that warmth, that expansion? That is the magnetic force at work. This practice may last only 40 seconds, but in those 40 seconds your broadcast to the field becomes aligned. You are no longer thinking one thing and feeling another. You are radiating coherence. So ask yourself, what emotion do I rehearse most often? Because whatever you rehearse daily becomes your magnetic signature. And the field is always listening. Most people approach manifestation with a subtle but powerful mistake. They place their desires somewhere out in the future. One day I'll be healthy. One day I'll be abundant. One day I'll find love. But the quantum field doesn't respond to someday. It only reflects the energy you are broadcasting in the now. If your vibration is, "It's not here yet," then the field simply mirrors that in a constant experience of waiting, chasing, and hoping. This is why Dr. Joe Dispenza often repeats, you must teach your body to feel the future as if it is happening now. Because the field doesn't distinguish between a memory of the past, an experience of the present, or an imagined future. To the subconscious mind, all are equally real. Think of it this way. Your brain and body are like a movie projector. If the film running through the projector is labeled lack or waiting, that is the movie that plays on the screen of your life. But the moment you insert a new reel, one that carries the emotional signature of gratitude, freedom, love, the movie changes. The external world adjusts to match the inner film. So how do you live as if the future is now? It begins with choosing to embody the emotion of the future you want before it arrives. Want abundance? Don't wait for money to appear before feeling abundant. Practice the emotion of generosity, gratitude, and freedom today. Want love? Don't wait for the perfect partner. Become the vibration of love itself, radiating it in every interaction. Want health? Don't wait for a diagnosis to change. Embody vitality now by celebrating every breath, every movement, every heartbeat. When you embody the future in the present, you become a living magnet for that reality. The field cannot help but reflect it back because you've already tuned to the frequency of your desired experience. Let's pause here and make this practical with a short exercise. Mini practice, 40 seconds. Close your eyes. Take one deep breath in and exhale slowly. Now bring to mind a vision of a future you desire. See it clearly for a moment. Then drop your attention into your heart. Imagine that future is not coming but already here. Let gratitude flood your chest as if you're living it right now. Smile gently as your body memorizes the feeling. Hold it, breathe, and release. That was less than a minute, but in those few breaths you were living in the future as the present. Your body just had a taste of a new reality. Repeat this daily, and eventually your subconscious will accept this new state as familiar. And once it feels natural, the field reflects it back as experience. Here's the paradox. The more you practice being the person you wish to become before external proof appears, the faster that proof shows up. Not because you forced it, but because the field can only mirror coherence. So ask yourself right now, am I waiting for my life to change before I feel different? Or am I willing to feel different so that my life can change? That's the line between hoping and creating. It's one thing to understand the theory of the quantum field. It's another to see how ordinary people just like you have used these principles to create extraordinary changes in their lives. Stories are powerful because they remind us this isn't just philosophy. It's practical. It's happening right now. Take the story of a woman who had lived with chronic pain for over a decade. She attended one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's workshops, not knowing what to expect. For years, she had repeated affirmations, tried diets, even taken endless medications. Nothing seemed to shift. But in a single meditation, she did something radically different. She stopped praying for healing and began to embody the feeling of being already healed. She felt gratitude so deep, tears streamed down her face. Her body, for the first time in years, accepted the possibility of a new state. Within weeks, her pain began to dissolve. Doctors were stunned. She wasn't cured overnight, but something had shifted. At the deepest level, her body was learning to match the new signal she was broadcasting. Another story comes from a man who had struggled financially his entire adult life. He had every reason to feel lack, debt, failed business attempts, constant stress about bills. At a retreat, he realized that he had been asking the field for abundance while rehearsing scarcity every day in his body. He decided to try something new. Each morning before touching his phone, he closed his eyes and practiced feeling abundant. Not in money, but in life itself. He felt grateful for the breath in his lungs, the roof over his head, the opportunities that could exist even if he couldn't see them yet. Within months, he noticed small changes, unexpected checks, new clients, even strangers offering opportunities. Over time, his external life caught up to the abundance he had been embodying within. And then there's the story of a young woman who longed for love but carried deep wounds from past relationships. Every time she thought about meeting someone, her body automatically produced fear and self-protection. She realized she was sending mixed signals, mentally asking for love, emotionally radiating fear. Through meditation, she began to rehearse the feeling of already being loved, safe, and seen. She would sit in silence, place her hands on her heart, and simply generate the frequency of love within herself. Not long after, she met someone whose energy matched her new vibration, and the relationship blossomed naturally without force. What do these stories have in common? In each case, the person stopped waiting for external proof before feeling different. They reversed the equation. Instead of needing the outside world to change first, they became the change internally. The quantum field simply mirrored that new state back as experience. Does this mean you can control exactly when or how things will manifest? Not at all. The field doesn't operate on a human timeline. It responds to coherence, consistency, and alignment. Sometimes results come quickly, sometimes they take longer, but in every case, the transformation begins the moment you feel it as real inside of you. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't dig up the soil every day to see if the roots are growing. You water, you nurture, you trust. The growth is inevitable when the conditions are aligned. The same is true with the field. So the invitation here is simple. Instead of asking, why hasn't it shown up yet? Ask, am I being the person who already has it? Because when you live that way, breakthrough is no longer a miracle. It's a natural reflection of who you've become. At the heart of quantum physics lies one of the most mind-bending discoveries of all time: the observer effect. Experiments show that particles exist as waves of possibility until they are observed. The very act of observation collapses potential into reality. Think about that for a moment. Reality is not fixed. It responds to awareness, which means that the simple act of paying attention transforms the invisible into the visible. Now bring this back to your life. Every thought you think, every emotion you generate is an act of observation. You are not just a passive participant in the universe, you are an active creator. The field doesn't choose for you, it reflects you. And the quality of your attention determines what collapses from possibility into your experience. Here's a metaphor. Imagine a canvas stretched before you, pure white, endless. Every brushstroke of thought adds a shape. Every drop of emotion adds color. If you keep focusing on fear, your canvas fills with darker tones. If you focus on gratitude, your canvas bursts with light. And here's the truth. You are the only one holding the brush. The danger is that most people let their environment decide their focus. They wake up, check their phone, read the news, and immediately begin observing lack, stress, or chaos. Their attention collapses more of the same into reality, not because they want it, but because they unknowingly give it power by focusing on it. But the moment you reclaim your awareness, you reclaim creation. You choose to observe possibility, not limitation. You choose to place your attention on health, love, or abundance. And as you sustain that focus with elevated emotion, the field must respond. It has no choice. The wave collapses into a particle, and your inner world becomes outer experience. This is what it means to become the creator instead of the victim. Victims wait for proof before they believe. Creators know that belief is the proof. Victims react to what they see. Creators decide what to see. Victims say, "I'll be happy when my life changes." Creators say, "My life will change because I choose to be happy now." The observer effect is the ultimate reminder. You are never trapped by circumstances. You are only ever trapped by the story you continue to observe. Change the focus and the story changes. So here's the final question. What reality are you observing most often? Are you rehearsing the past, collapsing the same familiar experiences over and over? Or are you brave enough to sustain attention on a future that feels impossible until it becomes inevitable? Because when you master your awareness, when you align thought and emotion, you step into your true role, the conscious creator of your life. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you hope for, beg for, or even deserve. It responds to who you are being right now in this moment, and that means you don't have to wait any longer. The brush is already in your hand. The field is already listening. The only question left is, what masterpiece will you create?